This is Angelo Quinones, and I'm a little bit under the weather, sick, but I can still talk. You know what I mean? But I have to talk. You know what you do when you're wrong? What you do, you apologize. That's what you usually do when you're a human being to another human being. You understand what I'm saying? Even to a dog. If you step on a, if you have a dog, you have a dog, not a stranger. But if you have a dog, step on his foot, you say, "Oh, I'm sorry, Pete," or whatever. So usually when you're wrong, you apologize. And the thing about the Pirates is really surprising to me. And I'm not even talking about Riza's side now. I'm not talking about Riza's side. I'm talking about Emmanuel's side. I'm talking about Mer's side. I'm talking about Carton's side. You understand what I'm saying? They don't say I'm sorry. They don't apologize, man. They should knock my door and beg me to forgive them. You don't act the way they did when I went to their house in peace and they turned out to be for war. I'm not talking about Caton. I'm not talking about the kids. I'm not talking about Kyle. I'm talking about Emmanuel. The father acted like a fool, like a jerk, like a disgrace, like a wild man. He was exposed. Let's put it like that. Let's put it like this. Okay. For somebody Shafi, for somebody who seems so mild and calm and cool and collected and quiet and peaceful and passive. Okay, he was exposed to be a person who's angry, bitter, confused, worried, preoccupied, troubled. He was exposed. Let's just face it. This guy was exposed to be all those things and much more. He wasn't exposed to be the quiet person that he or the he has this very nice voice. Emmanuel, the son of Mercy, Caton's husband, very nice voice. He could actually, I don't know why he doesn't sing. Be a very nice voice. That's what I'm saying. But he exposed himself to be a fraud. He should be knocking my door saying, "Oh my God, Angelo, you know something? I lost my mind. It hurt what you said, but you know something? It came home. That's my mother. I'm not treating her like my mother. I'm treating her like a stranger. I'm treating her like nothing. I'm treating her like I don't even know her. I'm building my wealth, and at the same time, I'm pulling her down. So you know something? It hurts me to apologize to you. It hurts me to admit that I was wrong." Emmanuel's supposed to say to me. Um, but you know something? I acted like a wild man. I wanted to hit you. I wanted to complain, but it it's something that you exposed in me that God needed to send somebody to me to tell me that I was wrong and that our family is wrong and that we're living in the wrong way. We're living selfishly. We're not living sacrificially. We're not living. We're covetous people. We're anti-Bible. We're anti-Christ. We're living for ourselves. We're not living for the mom who bore us and who kept us and protected us and nurtured us and fed us and we're living like kings and she's living like the poorest of the poor, and I admit to you, Angelo, it's wrong. And not only that, you're a person who's legally blind, who has a visual problem, and you didn't come yelling, you didn't come throwing things, you didn't come cursing or acting in an ill way, but I did, and I want to apologize with all my heart. You know, I know it's troubling my wife that you don't come to the store anymore and get credit. It hurts the store. It hurts business. We have a business. I'm not. I wasn't even thinking about the business. I was thinking about myself. See, that's what Emmanuel should say. He should say that. He has a store. It hurts him, not me. It doesn't hurt me. It doesn't hurt me. It doesn't hurt me at all. Unless they have so much cash, up their ass that it really doesn't hurt them at all. I mean, maybe that's the deal. They got too much cash up their ass that they're not worried about helping their mother. They're not worried about giving credit to Angela. They're not worried. They don't have no worries. Maybe that's the deal. They don't have no worries. They don't have no fears. Okay. What does the Bible say? Woe unto you who laugh now, for you will weep and lament. Woe to you who are full now, for you will hunger. Huh? It says that in Luke chapter 6. Woe to you who are full now. I mean, listen, I have sometimes and stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? I never forgot my mother like that, you know. And if I ever forgot my mother, I came back and repented from that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, well, I have a girlfriend, and then I'm giving everything to her. But you know something? That's wrong. The next time I have a job, I'm gonna get everything to my mother, nothing for nobody except for her, except for my transportation money. And that actually happened to me, so I can talk with experience. I was yeah, I remember that I fell in love with a Filipina, and it was everything for that puta desgraciada, that bitch, man. Everything. It was everything. I sent everything for her. You understand what I'm saying? And I said, you know something, that's wrong. And I repented from that. See, that's the thing. I turned away from that. I changed my mind about that. I said, no, no longer I'm gonna in this job that's coming up, in Dialogue in the Dark, am I gonna concentrate on anybody else? I'm gonna concentrate on my mother. And it was everything for her before she died. Thank God. Thank God it was like that. Before she passed away, it was everything for that woman from that job. Dialogue in the Dark. And I used to get 600 peso an hour, not a day, an hour, an hour. So I can say that I repented from that idea, of giving everything to a girl, and no, 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 that wasn't the case. Forever, never, never, never. No, 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 no. I learned from that because I was young. But see, I was young. I was younger. That was a long time ago. That was 17 years ago or 15 years ago. I was in my 40s then. I'm in my higher 50s now. You have to learn. What the hell are you gonna learn? You know. And so before my mother died, the last job I ever, not ever had, but the last job I had when she was alive, it was everything for her. Everything. Except, traveling expenses that I needed to pay, my car service, money for sandwiches to take on the job, um, money for food and stuff like that. Yeah, everything was from my mother. And when she died, I had a good, clean conscience, a clean brain. Wait, my love. When daddy's here, my love. I had a good conscience. My mother said that you have to have a good conscience between you and God. Conscience. That your brain is clean, your mind is clean before Him because you're doing the right thing. See, right now, when Mercy dies, Emmanuel, there's no way that man can have a clean brain, a clean conscience between him and God and his mother because he doesn't. I'm not saying that he never helps her though, man, but you cannot let your mother live like that and you live like that. It's not good. You can't live like a king and your mother live like a dog. I'm sorry. He should be knocking on my door asking me for forgiveness. But his pride, see, he paints more than he thinks. He hammers more than he reasons out. He measures more than calculating how bad he looks in front of everybody. You understand what I'm saying? He drills pieces of wood and stuff like that instead of drilling and testing himself and see if he's coming out the way that God wants him to come out. You understand what I'm saying? That's the thing. And now I know why. That's another thing. This is part two. Now I know why people don't say nothing to him. Now I know why people don't say nothing to Emmanuel, the husband of Caton. Why? Why? What's the reason? Well, because they're afraid that he'll take the credit away. They're afraid that he'll take the credit away. You understand what I'm saying? They're afraid. They're afraid. Guys, my love. See, I'm not afraid. I'm not in nobody's program. I'm on nobody's payroll. If I don't have credit in one store, I create my own. um, you know, my own credit bureau. I just pay regular. Or I just don't go. I just buy everything. I have a pension. So with my pension, I buy everything in for the whole month. That's all. This month I'm getting a loan, so everything is easy this month and next month. And one day I could set up my own store. You see what I'm saying? And not only here in Don Pedro, but a real actual store. Like the one they have right next to Jollibee, like it sells rice, a cup of rice and stuff like that. You have to go up that hill in the behind Jollibee. There's a store to the left hand side, little tiny store. They just sell rice and stuff like that, whatever, like that. You know, you know. I put it in the name of my kids. Shana, the store Shana. Sean and Anna. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to do. I don't want to stay in Don Pedro doing something. They hurt themselves. No longer can they get 6,400. That's the most I ever gave last year to them. 6,400 in 1 month. 5,300, 5,900. The lowest was like 2,667, I think, like that. I don't lose. I don't lose. I buy my own Happy Money. That's what I did last month. I buy my own Piatto. That's what I did last month. I bought my own, I bought bought my own stuff. Bought my own bread. And listen, it was very wonderful what Atong and her son did coming to me in Christmas time saying, you know something, it's almost New Year's and we do not open up the store on the 1st. So here's the sliced bread and pork steak. That was beautiful and God will honor that. I don't have any problem with Kyle. The only time I have a problem with Kyle is when his stupid friends throws rocks at my house or whatever the case may be. I don't have any problem with the kids except for James. And sometimes he looks in the window. He acts stupid. But he doesn't have a father. He does. A father is not only one that provides money. A father is the one who provides discipline and instruction. The three P's: protection, preaching, and provision. And just because you provide for your son doesn't mean you're a complete father. You have to teach him discipline, how to be how to be a good boy, how to be a man. You understand what I'm saying? He doesn't have that as a father. He doesn't have a father that hugs him, kisses him, and tells him that he loves him. He doesn't have that. He doesn't have that. See, the husband in Katong is too busy painting instead of hugging. The husband in Katong is too busy, drilling instead of saying "I love you" to people. The husband in Katong is too busy, cutting his boards and stuff like that instead of uh, instead of saying "I love you." You understand what I'm saying? That's a fact. That's a fact. It might be a nice house. It's okay. It's not great what they have. It's not great. It might be a nicer house than a lot of other people, but compared to a lot of people's homes, it's a very good home. Because a lot of people's homes is just not really good over here. So it stands out as the jewel of Don Pedro on this side. But no matter how much nice your house is than somebody else, if you don't have no love inside, if you don't have warmth and love and kisses and hugs and butterflies and stuff like that for your kids and for your wife, they're miserable. They're miserable. I bet you they'd trade all that for just one hug and a kiss. You know what I'm saying? That's the deal. But I think a lot of people are afraid of him and afraid to speak out to the Catons. It's because and that's not even her real name. It's like I forgot Ravelina or something. She told me the real name, her real name, Ravelina or whatever it is. She told me her real name. She told me, but I forgot it. That's why I don't even say to her that Raveline or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Daddy's coming, my love. Daddy's coming home. You know what I'm saying? Um, Now I know why. Because people are on his payroll, and so If you say something against them, they're gonna hate you just like they did me. They might fight you. Then the whole group of people might come in the house and try to kick your ass. you know, They didn't touch me though. They just rubbed on me like a little bit, like And I've been through that in the United States, so I know. And first of all, I know how to fight. I know how to handle myself. But once you're mentioning God, you can't fight. That's the problem. So a lot of people say, "Well, Angelo, you didn't do anything in Gaton's house. What the hell happened?" No, I mentioned God. Once you mention God, you cannot fight. If I go in there not mentioning the Lord, I can fight all I want. But once you mention God, once you mention the Lord Jesus Christ, once you mention, God doesn't like what you're doing, then you're going in that home in a religious context, and you cannot fight. You cannot defend yourself like that physically. You can't. All bets are off. If I go in there saying, coming in my own name, then I could defend myself, and I could do this, and I could do that. Yeah, yeah, and I'm very able, and I'm very capable of doing it. Very capable of taking on the whole family if I need to. You know. I'm very capable. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows how much I put. If there was a truck that was stuck there in the middle of the mud over there, and nobody could push it except for me, I came over there and I gave it one push, and the whole truck, came out. I think that's why he was running in the living room. I think that's why Emmanuel was running, the husband of Caton was running in the living room. He literally got up from in front of me and went to the living room like he was scared to death. And then he said he muttered something against his wife. He said, like in Filipino about esposa, he said, something, I don't know why I have a wife for that doesn't even, defend me like that. Exactly, that's what he said. He was diving and bitching and complaining about Akatone's wife. You know? But now I know a lot of people don't tell him anything because, if they tell him something, they can't get credit no longer in the store. But see, I'm not bound to that. I'm not bound to a store. I'm not bound to one shop. I'm not bound to one store. I'm not. I lose credit. I lost credit with my mother-in-law, and I survived. And now I lost credit with Caton, basically, because I don't even know if they're mad at me or whatever. But you think I'm gonna go back? I'm not fresh. Where they don't want me, see, this is the thing with me and Risa. Risa's different. Where they don't want her, she goes back. Where they don't want me, or they have a problem with me, well, that means I have a problem with them, and I don't return. I don't return. But Risa's is different. If Tita Grace has a problem with her or accuses her of taking 1,000 from her house, instead of saying, no, I'm not going to go no more to the house, she goes back to there. She goes back. I'm not saying you shouldn't forgive, but just because you forgive somebody in your heart doesn't mean that you don't that you have to return back to the house. You know, I don't want people falsely accusing me of taking this or taking that if it was me. And going back, what? If something else is missing and you keep on going back, they're gonna keep on blaming your ass. Come on, man. If you don't learn, and she keeps on returning back to her mother's house. She says no, but she will. A mother who made her to collapse, who doesn't love her, who doesn't even throw a birthday party for her. I'm talking about Rebecca. Doesn't love Reza. Doesn't hug her. Doesn't kiss her. Doesn't say I love you. Come on, and you don't return back to that. You can honor your father and mother all you want to. Okay, but it doesn't mean you're gonna have to that you have to live with them. Sometimes you have to teach a lesson to people. You have to teach a lesson and say, something, you cannot do what you did to me, so I'm going to disappear for a while. I'm not going to go to your store for a while. I'm not going to go to your house for a while. No, you're going to have to learn that you just can't treat people like what you want. Just because you think you're elevated, you think you're better than everybody else, it doesn't mean that you treat everybody like that. And this is Angelo. Take care, guys. It says in the Bible, it says, love your neighbor as yourself. That's what it says. Love your neighbor as yourself. It doesn't say to love your paints and love your drills and love your boards and love your screws and love your gates and love your fences and love your beams and honor your father and your mother. That's what it says. So it might go well with you. Then you may live long upon the earth. And that's what he should do. He should honor his mother who bore him for 9 freaking months, man. I talked to Mercy. You didn't. I did. I was in front of her house saying, Mercy, you know something? And with this, I close. I don't want you to get mad at me because that's your son. First of all, is the husband of Katong, your son? And she said yes. Well, please don't get mad at me or anything like that because we have a nice little friendship, like that. I go there, but she's not selling chicken no more. I don't know what the hell's going on, I don't know. I miss that in the morning, I miss that flavor, that the smell, But anyway, my refrigerator is going to be hooked up, and I can buy my own chicken, put some chicken nuggets in there, and some White Castle hamburgers in there, and some some sausages in there, some bacon in there, some ham in there, and God willing, all that stuff, and some chicken to cook. But be that as it may, I said, Mercy, something. I want to tell you something, and I want to tell you this for a long time. And I said this already. I said this like about a year and a half ago. And then the daughter was yelling at me, and then Mercy, because I was late, because in paying, because something happened with the card that I ordered a new card and it didn't come on time, and so it was like a month that I couldn't pay, and blah blah blah. I mean, it was something terrible, and it kind of showed the true colors of them, that they're not patient. So when Angelo pays on time, Angelo's my friend. But when he's not paying on time, he's my enemy. You can't have can't have the both at the same time. You have to be patient. Sometimes things happens to customers. See, we're your customers. You have to be careful with that though, man. Especially when it's a customer who pays on time, who pays well, who pays good. And when something happens, you have to. When a customer like that is going through problems, and you know that he pays good or she pays good, you have to be extra patient with people like that. If it happens to be a person who doesn't pay, who this and that, okay, fine, you know what I mean. Rasha, Mercy. Why does your son? And I didn't even know his name. I think she told me the name. Why does Emmanuel, your son, who you bore for 9 months, you were pregnant for 9 months, and you bore him, and you cleaned him, and you pampered him, and you diapered him, or whatever you did, and you fed him. Why does he live like a king, and he allows you to live like a dog? That's not right. And I pointed to the sky. That's not right in God's eyes. And she didn't know I was going to go to the house there to complain at that time. And I didn't know I was going to go there. But I said, something, I'm here anyway. I was just talking about him. So something, I'm going to go face to face with him. I'm not going to be talking every time about him, to his mother. I'm gonna go now. Maybe he's a reasonable guy. Maybe he'll say, oh, something. He could have took it like this, and there would have been no problem. He could have said, oh, something, Angelo, you're right. He could have been sitting down listening to me, and nothing would have happened. And you know that the sister of Katong is always bitching and whining, complaining about me thinking something that she shouldn't be thinking. Coming home around 7 or 8 o'clock in the night from the job, and doesn't even know what the hell is going on, and she's already accusing me. She seems like a nice person, but I'm just saying that you can't be doing that. Coming late and then pointing your fingers, your little bony fingers, on my face and saying, "Oh, Angelo, you should have came like this." And I did come peaceful and stuff like that. Maybe if you would have been here and shut the hell up, maybe you learn what the hell happened. Instead of accusing me, why don't you ask me what happened? Angelo, I heard what happened. Can you tell me what happened? Can you give me your side of the story? But it's never like that with her. It's always like, oh, you did this, you did that, and like it's too bad because she seems like a reasonable, intelligent person. I don't know what the hell she has against me. I don't know. I never did anything. I never did anything to her. I'm not married to that side of the family, and I mean, I'm married to a Tapaya, so I have every reason to go into the house there and speak my mind. But I'm not. I'm saying I'm not married to one of the sisters. The hell. But this is the deal. So I said, and let me look at the power because it's about to turn off. It's 4%. But this is the deal. And let me turn this off so that way I won't turn off by mistake. This is the deal. If check this out. If Emmanuel does this, check this out. Nothing happens. If he if I say to Kyle, can I come in? Check this out like this. This is exactly what I did, but let's put it like that. He was peaceful, okay, and not a wild man, But let's check it out. Let's check out the scenario. And everybody knows English. Everybody understands what I'm saying. Let's see if Emmanuel didn't act stupid, nothing would have happened. But let's check it out. Okay, I'm talking about the son of mercy, the husband. Hakatong. You understand what I'm saying? He could have done something like this. He could have, I could have went. I'll repeat what I did and change what his attitude was into the attitude that should have been a godly and peaceful and attitude for his mother's sake. Hello, Kyle. You there? Yeah. Okay. Can I come in? Yeah. Okay. Can I have a chair? Sit down. Yeah. Can you translate? Yeah. Can you get your mother and father? Yeah. Okay, what's your father? He's in the living room. Can you get him? Yeah. Can you translate now? Yeah. Can you tell him I got two things to say? Yeah. Can you tell him, even though I'm not getting a lot of credit this month, it's because I'm anticipating you guys said no about the power, about me being connected to you guys. Yeah, no, he say no, your father? Yeah, he said no. Oh no, that's no problem. That's you're right. But since that's the case, I can't get a lot from the store today. So just let them know that this month. So just let them know that if I don't, it's not because I'm mad. It's because I have to stay away from the store because, I have to make sure that I have enough for my connection. Can you tell them that, please? Blah 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 blah. Okay, number one. Number two. Can you tell them this? You're gonna translate? Okay, yeah. Okay, can you please tell them why do you live like a king and your mother lives like a dog? And this is what I'm gonna try to say. When it rains, your mother goes through a lot of suffering and anguish. I mean, it rains around the house, it pours, it's flooding, it's flooding in the house, it's flooding outside of the house. I mean, the tables are old, the door is old, the foundation is old, the walls are old, the roof is old, and she doesn't deserve to live like that. Why does he live like that? So, sort of rich and famous, and then your mother is living in outright poverty. Can you translate that, please? Okay, Dad, Papa, Angelo said blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, no. And then he goes like this, and this is Emmanuel's attitude. That would have been helpful for everybody. Yeah, no, yeah. I've been thinking about that. This is Emmanuel speaking, the way he should have spoke. Yeah, God has been speaking to me about that. She is my mother, and, those are harsh words that you're saying to me because it really hits home. It hits my heart, but they're right. They're true. I can't continue to live like a king, and then my mother lives like the poorest of the poor. And you know something, what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be calculating how much money I can spend here and continue to build my house. But, for the kids' future, that's what I'm doing for Angelo, for the kids' future. But you know something, Edwin is her, I think anyway, is her son also. I mean, you have to talk to him also. But no, I understand what you're saying. I mean, she has had flooding in that house for a long time. It hurts me to see her like that compared to me. I mean, there's no flooding over here. I have tiles all over the place. I have tiles inside the house, tiles outside the house. There's no flooding. There's nothing. The roof is one of the strongest roofs in Don Pedro, but she doesn't have that. And you know something? You're right, Angelo. I'm gonna see what I could talk to some people, some contractors or whatever, and see if we could just as a matter of fact, what I'm gonna do, Angelo. I'm gonna completely rip that house down. I'm gonna let her stay with me and rebuild her house with new bricks, new roof, new windows, new floor, everything. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to tear it down from top to bottom. Maybe save a little bit of the foundation or whatever the case may be, and just completely rip it down and restore it with new furniture, new walls, new windows, a new roof. Make sure that there won't be any flooding when she returns back. And I really appreciate it. God bless you so much. End quote. If he would have had that reaction, I'm talking about Emmanuel, the son of Mercy, the husband that got dog. If he would have had that reaction, this is the last recording I'm going to say, but I can't say no more. If he would have had that godly reaction, a righteous reaction, a reaction that a loving son has toward his mother, and thus toward his neighbor, because the thing is that he's the neighbor is pointing that out. Nothing would have happened that night like it did. Nothing. Everything depended not upon me or his wife or the kids, or including Kyle. Everything depended on the recipient of the message. It's always been like that since the beginning of time. Why did Cain kill Abel? Because his deeds were unrighteous. Because he was jealous of Abel. You understand what I'm saying? Because God said, I want blood. I don't want a fruit sacrifice. You understand what I'm saying? Genesis chapter 4. So he rose up and killed Abel. He killed him because he was jealous. It's been like that since the beginning of freaking time. It's how you take the message. It's what you do with the message that God sends you. God can send a message directly to you. He can send it directly through somebody else. He can send it in his word. When you pick up the Bible, it smacks you in the face and it says, you know something? You're not living according to his book. He can send you the message in a dream, in a vision, in a tongue, by another nation, by circumstances, by sickness, by your conscience. He can send it in so many ways, it's not even funny. And it's what you do with it, man. It's what you do with it. Don't be blaming and bitching and whining and complaining about Angelo and about everybody else. Emmanuel, you understand what I'm saying? You didn't receive the message from the Lord that it came from God. You thought that I was just over there, speaking, off the cuff and speaking on my own account and speaking like I had something to gain from all this. I didn't have nothing to gain. I had everything to lose. And I still went. I took a chance. Now, I didn't know that was going to be received like that. That's ridiculous. I mean, people coming in the house and people wanting to beat me up and people bitching and wanting, complaining and talking behind my back. It's just like all hell broke loose. It's just like all the demons, broke loose in that man. You understand? Maybe he has some demons in him. I don't know. Maybe he's demonically possessed. He looks quiet outside, but inside, he's a hungry wolf. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I mean, he acted like a demon. I mean, I'm just saying. He didn't act like a godly person like that came from church. He acted like a wild man. So, if the reaction was completely different, nothing happens. I'm still getting credit from Canton. They're not losing out because they're the ones who lose out, not me. Today, I'm going to go to the market and buy my things. I'm going to get my Piato. I'm going to get my Happy Money. I'm going to get my Snickers. I'm going to get my even more. Because I could get my Pringles and I could get this and I could get that. Come on, man. I don't lose out. I don't lose out on nothing. Nothing. I gain, as a matter of fact, because now I don't have to pay them. Remember around December or January or whatever it was, I think it was December, I had to pay $9,000. I had to pay $6,400 to Katong and $2,500 to Mercy. You know how much that is? That's you see, that's 6,000 and 2,000, that's 8,000 and 500 and 400. That's 9,000. That's 9,000. So not only did Mercy lose out because she's not selling anymore, but Katon lost out. They lost out. They lost. They didn't gain. They didn't get better. They got worse. And that's a store. You know how to. You have to not only. Not only am I family, because, when I married Riza, somebody told me, Angelo, quote, welcome to the Tapayat family, end quote. So you can't be welcoming me into your family and then I don't have nothing to say when something bothers me. It doesn't go like that, though, man. I'm not a stranger off the street. I didn't just come from Manila. I didn't just come from the United States, in a parachute and stuff like that, and just parachuted down to this little tiny village. Oh, what the hell is going on? Oh, okay, so I'm not nobody here, so let me just speak my mind. No, I didn't come from Mars, man. I'm married to Teresa for 6 years. It's not even 6 months. It's 6 freaking years. And I have a right to speak my mind. I have a right to help this family. Tabang, you understand what I'm saying? And I have a right to say something when it bothers me. I have those two rights in his family because I'm part of the family, man. Whether you like it or not. Me and Risa are one flesh. You understand what I'm saying? So if I see a wrong, I see a mother getting treated wrong like a dog by her own son, Emmanuel, man, I'm going to speak out. That's what you do. That's what you do in the United States of America. I don't go from village to village and from town to town or from door to door or from house to house speaking behind somebody's back. No, I take it right in your face. And it's not my fault. The reaction that he had was ungodly, was an ungodly, unrighteous reaction. It was ungodly. It was not of God. The reaction, okay, was not of God because he didn't take it right. David in the Old Testament, okay, took the example right that when he sinned against Bathsheba and taking her in adultery and having and even before that or really after that having the husband killed, those two sins, murder and adultery, you can't get any worse than that in the Bible except for blasphemy. You understand what I'm saying? When somebody came to him, Nathan the prophet came to him in an example saying about the sheep, about somebody did something wrong about the sheep and blah, blah, blah. And David was angry and said, who did that? And then Nathan said, it's you. You're the one that God is bringing me here to rebuke. You're the one who killed that man's the man, the husband, Uriah, the husband of Bathsheba, and you slept with her and had an infant through adultery. You understand what I'm saying? You're guilty. Did he bitch and whine and complain? He knew he knew that he was wrong. He knew that he was getting visited by a prophet of God. Oh, but Angelo, you're not a prophet of God. Yeah, but I'm a preacher of the Lord. And I told one of the sisters of Caton, because she said, who sent you here? I said, I was sent here by God. God sent me. Because what your brother-in-law or whatever is doing, it's wrong in the eyes of God. You can't live like a king and your mother lives like a freaking dog. It doesn't make no sense. It's not godly. You understand what I'm saying? But his reaction was everything. It changed the course of nature because the tongue is a fire full of deadly poison. It's like a little rudder on a ship, but it could turn a ship, and it could turn a horse also. We put bits in the horse's mouth, and so we could lead him to the left and lead him to the right. A little tiny little thing. And the tongue is like that. It's like a fire, a world of iniquity, of sin. That's how he acted. He overreacted. He didn't take the reaction good because he's not used to it. He's not used to taking, rebuke. He's not used to taking, insults. Well, not really insults, but if to him probably it was an insult that I'm living. Angela's telling me that I'm living like a king and my mother's living like a dog. I'm insulted by that. Nobody even dares do that. Who is he? A blind person from the greatest country in the world who helps us all the time, get out of trouble from Japan and get out of trouble from China and stuff like that. Okay, fine. The country is great. But Angelo, he's blind. He's telling me I can see well. He can't. And he dares to come to me. Yeah, I do. And right into your face. And I stood the test of time. I stood right in my chair. You're the one who ran into the living room. I didn't run. You're the one who's scared of me. I ain't scared of you. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not scared of you. And to prove it, let's box. Let's have a little tiny friendly boxing match between families. Me and you, Emmanuel. I'm just saying, just in case you think I'm scared of you, come on, let's box. Let's have a boxing match. Let that be proclaimed throughout all Don Pedro. Emmanuel versus Angelo in a boxing match or a martial art match. Let's do it and see how your big mouth withstands that. I don't think you have a shot in the hell to beat me. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I stood right there in the chair. And then he ran because he knew he probably thought that I was going to get up and kick his ass. Because let me tell you something. If I had a brother like that, if I had a brother, if Fernando was like that, I would slap him right in the face. You're doing that to our mother, like that. Because I had the right to do that against my brother. You understand what I'm saying? But he thought I was going to do that to him. But no, I wasn't going to touch him or nothing like that. I was speaking words. The words of the Lord that you're a deep criminal. When you allow yourself to live like a king, and then your mother, you're allowed to live like the poorest of the poor. No, he needed to be rebuked for his first freaking time in his life. Instead of smelling the pain, he needed to smell the word of God. He needed to smell somebody's presence that's not scared of him. He's not used to that. He's not, you see, Emmanuel is not used to people telling him what to do. He's usually on the phone telling people what to do. He's usually telling his wife what to do. He's usually calling the shots and painting whatever the hell he wants, and painting in the middle of 5 o'clock in the morning, and hammering and sawing and drilling. And who the hell cares? I don't care about anybody at 5 o'clock in the morning. Let me paint, let me saw, let me powder. You understand what I'm saying? He doesn't give a damn until he drops dead one day, and then all that stuff that he's doing goes to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't take it with you. You can't take it with you when you die. You understand what I'm saying? The Apostle Paul said that it is assuredly we brought nothing into this world, and most assuredly we can bring nothing out of it. So you can build your house and stuff like that. You're not going to take it with you when you die. Look at that guy that died in the Camino, like about last year. Did he bring that big mansion of a house with him to either heaven or hell? Hell no. So anyway, the reaction was everything. He overreacted on a simple message that you're not honoring your mother. That's all. I didn't tell him that he had 6 months to live. I didn't tell him that he had a cancer. You know what I'm saying? I didn't tell him that his fortune is about to go down. I didn't tell him that he lost some stocks and bonds and that his market crashed. I didn't tell him that he was going to be poor in 6 years. I didn't tell him that all his customers don't want to go with him anymore. I didn't give him any bad news like that. I told him that he wasn't treating his mother right. That's all I said. And then everybody bitches and whines and complain about me instead of saying, something what Angelo said is right. We're not blind. We don't have a vision problem. Look how she lives. She lives in a dump. I mean, there are better dog houses in the United States of America than the house that Mercy has. There's better dog houses than that. There's better garages than that, though, man. Just garages. Forget about dog houses. Forget about homes. You understand what I mean? The cheapest store in the United States is better than that. I'm talking about a little tiny stand. A newspaper stand or something like that. It's much better than that. It's ridiculous. And it's insulting to God that somebody could have received so much from his mother when he was in the womb, when he was born, when he was a young child, when he went to school, when he fell down and broke chipped his knee and blood came out, and the mother was right there, healing him and stuff like that, or whatever the case may be. When he was sick and he couldn't do anything for himself because he was just a snotty-nosed kid. You understand what I'm saying? She brought him to the hospital and this and that, and whatever the case may be. Brought him up to go to school, to college, or whatever she did, or whatever, And now it's his turn. It's his turn to help her out. To do this, to do that when she's older and stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? It's not like that. It's not like that. And I told him right in his face to face. Panim el panim, prosopam, prosopam, cara cara, noun to noun. You understand what I'm saying? And he couldn't take it because he doesn't have the Holy Spirit of God in his body. He doesn't have God in his life. He doesn't know the Bible. He doesn't know the Word of God. He's not a what? A born-again Christian. He's not one of God's people. So he didn't have the power. He didn't have the dunatai to take criticism for the first time in his damn life. Thanks, guys. And I'm talking about Emmanuel, the husband of Katon, the son of whom? What? Mercy. Does he have mercy on Mercy? I don't think so. So will God have mercy on him? I don't know.